Throughout the years, art has changed from many different styles, from its origins as cave paintings to its new age style with computers. They have used many different things to create this art, from pencils and pens, paints, charcoals, and even watercolor. But that is not what I will be focusing on. Instead, I will tell you about the different art styles. Throughout the years, what they are, and a couple of artists that are made famous by their works in each art style. So stick with me and I will tell you about all of the art styles throughout the years. First, let's start off with Romanticism. It was made popular in the early 1780s to 1850, it is an artistic and intellectual movement originating in Europe. It was characterized by a heightening interest in nature and emphasis on the individual's expression of emotion and imagination. It also came from the rebellion against established social rules and conventions, but all with a romantic quality added to it. Some famous artists from that time are Caspar, Frederick, and Géricault. Next came Realism. It happened in about 1848 to the 1900s. Realism is where they would do realistic scenes, such as showing the working class and peasants of the time doing what they do daily, such as them doing work or getting stuff from their store. Some famous artists for realism are Carrot, Colbert, Vermeer, and Millet. Now we move into Impressionism. It started in around 1865 and lasted until about 1885. Impressionism is art that is a style that captures the image as if someone just caught a glimpse of it. They will paint their pictures with a lot of color, and most pictures are outdoor scenes. The artists like to capture their images without detail but with bold colors. Some famous Impressionists are Monet, Manet, Renoir, and Pissarro. Then we have Post-Impressionism, which is a lot like Impressionism, but they use colors in a more personal and expressive way. Post-Impressionism lasted from 1885 to 1910. Some famous artists include Van Gogh, Gauguin, and Seurat. We then move into Expressionism. This style went on from 1900s to 1935. Expressionism is where an artist does not depict objective reality, but the subjective emotions that object or events arouse. They accomplish this through distortion and exaggeration of shape, and the vivid or violent application of color. Some very famous artists include Matisse, Kirchhoff, and Kandinsky. Now we move into Cubism, probably one of the most interesting styles that have happened. Cubism happened from 1905 to 1920. It is when you use several planes of an object and form them into cubes. They put this where they use a narrow range of colors. Some artists include Picasso, Rivera, and Leger. Next we move into Surrealism, from 1970 to 1950s. Surrealism is basically ridiculous art. The paintings are all almost dreamlike. They take elements that are all almost as if they came up with them when they were unconscious. Some famous artists include Dali, Ernest, and Kahlo. Now we move into pop art, which started in the 1960s. Pop art is a movement in modern art that imitates the methods and styles and themes of popular culture. The mass media such as comic strips, advertising, and science fiction. One famous pop artist is Warhol. Finally, we move into postmodernism, which was started in 1970 and has been continuing today. Postmodernism is a mixing of past styles. There is a huge movement of this in architecture and decorative arts. Some famous artists include Giraud, Richter, Cindy Sherman, and Anselm Kiefer. So as you can see, there has been a lot of different art styles throughout the years, all different and all very pleasing to look at.